After I'd cancelled the planned ride down into Dumfries and Galloway, Graham Wilson generously offered to meet up and lead us round these local trails up and around the Courthouse Estate and the Falls of Clyde. We're joined by Chan, another local who I haven't cycled with for quite a while, and it was good to see him again. I've never really cycled up here, so I was looking forward to being shown round a new neck of the woods, which Graham has often enthused about. He explained that a lot of these roads were built as old drovers' roads to Lanark. The gorse was in full bloom and had that lovely coconut and vanilla-ish type smell about it. It was also nice to see the bluebells out and showing in such numbers. As we topped out, we'd reached our highest point of the day, so we stopped for a couple of minutes to take in the excellent views over the valley. We were able to pick out the Campsies and Ben Lomond in the haze in the distance. As a reward for our climbing efforts, we then had a wee rest as we descended down this section, which was a bit bumpy, had quite a few flies kicking about, but it was lined with these beautiful big beech trees. I had a wee mechanical at the end of the descent as I dropped my chain. This video should really be brought to you by the Tree Appreciation Society, as I feel I almost became a hugger by the end of the ride. It was a pretty rude start as we climbed from Lesmahago to Brocket Spray and on up to Hawksland, gaining about 600 feet in the first lumpy 6 miles. Graham explained that this was his playground as a youngster, and to be fair, according to Strava, it still often is. He was able to tell us a fair bit about the area and many of the fun times he used to have roaming these woods as a kid. We then turned into a stunning wee single track section, which leads down to a viewpoint over the Falls of Clyde and is obviously very popular with walkers. Because of its popularity and the amount of single track that there is, I don't think this would be a good route for a large group to ride. This wee flowy section led into a track beside the stairs which I didn't quite make it up to the top of. I'll need to carry a bit more speed on the approach the next time and get into a spinnier gear. If you're enjoying this video, please consider giving it a like. It's always nice to get feedback, so why not drop a comment and consider subscribing to the channel, which is free. That way you'll be advised every time I post a video and won't miss any invites to our future group rides. If you'd like to follow any of these routes, you can pick up the GPX files by following me on Strava at Douglas Gilligan, RACC, or on Commute at Specialised Doug. The nice spell of weather was holding up, and the continued dry spell, apparently the driest spring in over a century, meant that the trails were as dry as they'll ever be. There were only actually about 3 very small areas where we saw any signs of standing water at all. This track is known locally as the Beaches, and there's almost an avenue created by these beautiful big trees. This narrow downhill section led us onto a tarmac climb and past this beautiful big house, which had an equally impressive garden. This pretty red acer then caught my eye just before we arrived at this excellent wall mural of a badger. The next landmark Graham pointed out to us was this square building on the right, which he told us was known as the Hall of Mirrors. In its day it contained mirrors which showed off the Coralline Falls, and it's thought to be the first example of a camera obscura built in Scotland. Tam then insisted that Graham take us down some single track to see what he assured me was the real badger of the forest. It turned out that during COVID someone had carved what looks like a badger peeking its head out of this tree. We retraced our tyre tracks and crossed over the river. Graham led us to the opposite bank where he could look back across the falls. The record dry spell has resulted in there being very low water levels in the river, but this must look really impressive after more rain. I'll undoubtedly be back here in the autumn and winter, as these falls must be spectacular when the river is in spate. There are some really old, very big and impressive trees to be seen along the route, and I do love cycling through forested trails. This was the type of cycling that I pictured when I bought my first real gravel bike, a Specialized Tricross, nearly 15 years ago. We then had a discussion about what this alcove was designed for, with suggestions ranging from a display area for a statue, was it possibly an altar, or that it was for projecting someone's voice out to an audience. If anyone watching has any ideas, or better still a definitive answer, please let us know in the comments. As we left the small amphitheatre type area, I heard a horse, and I think it must have been spooked just as we came out from behind the wall, as it kinda reared up and threw its rider. The young girl seemed a bit dazed, but she assured us that she was okay, wasn't hurt, and hadn't hit her head. To be honest, I think she was more embarrassed than anything else.
You've not hurt yourself?
That's right.
You sure you're alright?
You sure you're alright? Okay, where are you? You're up at the centre there? You're up at the wee palace? Okay then.
The next building we stopped at was apparently a mausoleum. Tam did his best to try to frighten me by singing a song about a crazy Glasgow cat, and he just about succeeded. This is Graham keeping his hand in with his CX obstacle skills here. I love this house, which had erected a cracking wee cairn, some lovely colourful bird boxes and a bee hotel. Excellent work, guys. Well done. There were quite a few felled trees on this side of the river, and it'll probably take them a while to get round them. It certainly took Sam and I a while to get over them all. I was really impressed with the trails and the scenery. Huge thanks to Graham for introducing me to his local trails, and I will definitely be back. It was also nice to catch up with Sam again. He's just had his first taste of surfing, so we may well have to try sharing some waves together, and I'm pretty sure we'll be off bike packing together somewhere at some point this year. And finally, the ride by the numbers. We covered a lumpy 27 miles with 2,600 feet of climbing. Thanks for watching.